it's truly a coast-to-coast drought, and what stands out about it is its strength on the east and west coasts. More typically, we'll have these in the interior part of the continent. This is the sort of summer that would be much more normal under the climate of the mid-century to late century. So we'll see these types of summers more and more frequently as we move forward. To have bone dry conditions in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia is mind-boggling. Uh, this, these are not dry places normally, and they've become very dry, very hot. And it turns out because of the very thick vegetation in the understory and in the forest there, that they're tinderboxes and they burn very easily.
Certainly one of the most apparent impacts of these droughts from almost coast to coast to coast is the wildfires. The impacts that we will start to see and hear about towards the end of the year are the effects on agriculture. And those become more and more apparent when harvests come in. Um, with droughts of this severity, crop yields drop. It becomes harder to grow feed like alfalfa and hay for livestock. And ultimately, it reduces the amount that farmers produce, the amount that Canada can export, can have an effect on food prices as well. Water efficiency is going to be critical, making the best use out of the water that we have rather than, say, spraying it away to water lawns in urban areas in the hottest parts of the summer. And ultimately, the most important thing that we need to do to mitigate this growing drought risk is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
Canada is often seen as a land of endless water, with countless lakes, river, and whatever. But we should be careful. Even I can say, in reality, water is not equally distributed. In British Columbia, we have more than 1,000 millimeter precipitation per year, but we have a serious concern of drought there because during of the summer, average of precipitation is less than 30 millimeter.
In particular, there are certain areas within Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta that are declaring states of emergency, states of agricultural emergency, because it is so dry. And obviously that's impacting their crops, impacting the availability of feed for their cattle. And what we're seeing in certain parts of the country, those areas in particular that I mentioned, we're seeing producers being forced to make some really hard decisions around maybe having to sell livestock and reduce their herd sizes.